Let's don't bust up. Happy or sad? Come on, baby. Let's stay together. What are you doing? Calm down, peoples. Dr. Eli Karam is with us. He is at the University of Louisville's Kent School of Social Work. Online at elikaram.com, K-A-R-A-M. Great to see you.
Always good to be with you, my friend.
You know, people do. They get all bunched up right now, and it's still 8 days, let's say 7 days, till they're going to go somewhere and be with people. And they're like, I don't know why.
10-day countdown. And people think, the holidays, and we think of stress as always a negative connotation. There's this, even stress, positive stress, eustress, E-U-S-T-R-E-S-S, is still, even people that love the holidays, this is getting to be crunch time. So let's talk about some.
Dude, I wrapped the last presents I need to wrap today.
Did you really? You do your own wrapping?
Wow. There were some things I have to hide from my wife, Yeah. She's so nosy.
Yeah, I like the gift bag because you could put a little paper down there. It saves time.
But she's nosy. She wants to know what's in there. Ooh, what's in here?
You're not going to tell everybody what you got married then? No.
No.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I may sneak out and get her one more thing.
Okay. But speaking of traditions, what causes people, even people obsess over very little things that are supposed to be enjoyable. The elf on the shelf. You have an elf?
Oh. Well, we have people getting out of school right now, but let's talk in a generic term.
Yeah, we'll talk. Well,
let me tell you, the elf is no longer a factor in our home.
Right. But
for the first time.
The elf can be a factor, and people compare, and if they don't have an original placement for the elf in the morning when they wakes up, they stress out. And
we went through that whole thing for several years. It's like, did you? Oh, no, I forgot.
The elf on the bookshelf isn't just enough anymore. You have to accessorize, and
I like drunk on the what is it? Trunk. Drunk on the trunk. I saw that on somebody, and they set it on a suitcase.
Right.
And it was some other kind of top.
Yeah.
It's like people have come up with other ideas, but yes, there is pressure that goes with that.
Yeah, so even in families that and in couples that are doing well feel stress and a crunch time. So the first tip is you got to have now 10 days out if you haven't already. You got to have some master schedule, because if you have work events, this holiday party, a school function, you have something to do, a holiday party, your kids have something to do. You got to map that all out and really plan ahead and really also prioritize. Sometimes people feel like they have to do everything. Oh, we got to go and do this. We got to go and do that. The lights under the zoo. We do all this stuff. Well, it's great, but sometimes if you are overbooked, you're not going to enjoy it, and it's going to create more stress than it's worth. So have a master schedule, and that includes whether you got school-age kids or older kids or kids coming home from college. You want to make a list of what these family events, they're kind of the non-negotiables we got to go to versus the ones that are optional and versus the ones maybe it would be nice, but we might pass on this year. And you also, if you have older kids, college kids coming home, make sure you know their schedule. You don't want them dropping in or bringing friends over.
We had this discussion earlier today. Once they're in college, though, and then they come in, particularly if they're freshmen, they're coming home for the first time. Should they have a curfew?
Oh, man, that's a tough one because now they've had their taste of independence.
They're living their own life somewhere else. How do you tell them, well, you got to come in at such and such?
Yeah, it's not just when they come in. It's what they do when you're in their house, including things like alcohol.
Hey, Mom, I picked up smoking.
Hey, Mom.
Yeah, we don't smoke in this house. Well, I do. Oh, wait a minute.
Right. So, but that's it's a perfect tip.
How do you tell your 18-year-old that, well, I know that I can't treat you like you're a high school student anymore, but you still let them know it's your home.
Well, it always helps if the 18-year-olds had a good first semester in college. So you want to honor what they have done well, and then still, honor their independence. But while you're in your house, have some ground rules that you, and if you have a co-parent, your spouse, your whatever, you want to make sure you're unified. Because if dad is saying one thing and mom is saying another thing, the young person is going to split right down the middle.
They know how to work it.
That's happened.
The manipulation works its way right in there.
Yeah,
but have clearly defined rules for everybody.
Clearly, including, what events you need to have to. Because a lot of young people, they want to come home, they want to hang out with their friends and skip out on some of these optional family events. So if it is an important event, you've got to make sure it's on the schedule. Another thing, you got to have a gift budget. And in most cases, that can be very stressful for people. They want to go all all out. And sometimes, depending on the year, you can do that. Other times you have to cut back or be more creative in your gift giving. So if you and your spouse or your significant other are doing finances together, you should have some kind of gift budget set up in there. And you've got to be able to also have some type of self-care. People, when they overplan, they forget about themselves. My favorite thing to do on the trip to Chicago and then coming back here is schedule a vacation within a vacation. I told you before. So we'll leave the kids in the western suburbs, and my wife and I will go for a night in Chicago.
You mean you just leave them on the corner?
We'll just leave them on the curb.
Just on the corner.
Maybe the grandparents.
Hey kids, why don't you sing around this trash can with fire? And just sit here and sing Christmas songs. We'll be back tomorrow.
That's right.
You'll go straight to prison.
So to have a break to focus on the couple is very important. Especially if you've been hustling and bustling all around and you haven't had time to spend with your significant other. So I think that's a very good tip.
That's good. It requires obviously trustworthy family members that can you guys take the kids? We're gonna go have a date night.
Right. And also, even if you indulge in food and drink or whatever, it's important people kind of err in two different directions. They're so uptight around their routine, even if they're very healthy and fit, that they can't enjoy some of the really luxuries of the season, or they overindulge, and they forget their routine. So to have some set of your routine, your exercise or something like that during the holidays.
That can't be good.
Very important.
All right, Dr. Eli Karam's talking with us, marriage and family therapist from U of L's Kent School of Social Work. Can you hang on a few minutes? Let's talk more about financial pressures that arise from the holidays, make people lose their minds. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Dr. Eli Karam online, elikaram.com. It's Karam on his last name.